You know, in every community, we want to include the gifts of everyone. So often in many neighborhoods, labeled people are marginalized and are pushed to the edge of society. I've learned that to build really strong communities, we've got to bring everyone in from the edge and engage the full community. There are so many hidden treasures there that are not known to people. I want to share a brief story from my own personal experience. When I bought my first house in Savannah, Georgia in 1981, I told my wife we would renovate this house. Of course, I was 32 and I was pretty ambitious. We'd have this house renovated in about a year. Well, 9 years later, my wife was pregnant with Morgan, and she says to me, "You've got until this baby is born to finish." Real ultimatum here. Now, I was not doing a very good job with the drywall, so I went next door to talk with my neighbor, Ola, because she had done a great job with her house. And she says, "What you need to do, Henry, is get Mr. Perry to help you." So I went over to Anderson Street and I found Mr. Perry, and he said, "I'll be there Friday." Well, Friday he didn't show up. 2 days later he hadn't shown up. But Tuesday he showed up and he said, "I'm ready to work." And I said, "My God, you're late." And he said, "Well, but I'm here now." So I brought him in, and I thought I smelled something when he walked by, but I wasn't really sure. He brings this really raggedy ladder in, and I'm thinking, you know what, this is going to be a problem. I think I'm going to stay home and kind of watch this guy and help him out. So he gets up, he puts the drywall on his head, and he's pretty quick with it, you know, and he starts hammering and he's doing a fantastic job. And he comes down and says, "I need $3 to get lunch." And so I give him $3, and he comes back 2 days later. And I'm thinking, "Where have you been?" And he says, "Well, you know," and I'm beginning to realize Mr. Perry is not the guy that I thought he was. And in fact, what I learned about Mr. Perry is that he was the neighborhood wino. And if you're lucky, you'll get 2 to 3 really great days from him. But he was the best drywall man you'd ever want to find anywhere. And I'll tell you this about him. Now, I fell in love with him, but you have to do all the things to take full advantage of his gifts, his skills. You have to pick him up. You just have to do these things yourself, because that's the way it is. Now, if I'd gone to see my neighbor Ola and said, "You know, I need someone to help me with my drywall," and she'd have said, "Henry, what you need is the wino," I would have said, "There isn't any chance in hell I'm going to hire this guy." But what she said was, "He's a good drywall man." And he was, and his gifts were incredible.